standing in instead of Karis LeVert, Muhammad Ali Abdurrahman.
Abdurrahman's been great, and you look at what he's done in all games, averaging about 6 points a game, but in Big Ten play, 11 points a game, showing that he can certainly take advantage playing starters minutes.
And the point guard for the Iowa Hawkeyes, the senior Mike Gazelle. He is outstanding and second in the Big Ten in assists.
You want to talk about a tone setter, the heart and soul kind of guy. Well, that's Mike Gazelle. He is just that. He's shown that he can score big when he needs to, but he really is the heart and soul of this team, and he is really the engine that gets it started.
Fred McCaffrey has been extremely pleased with his club. They are 16th in the country at the moment at 13-3, one of only 2 undefeateds within the Big Ten Conference. John Beilein on the other side of the floor. Over 700 wins in his coaching career, his 9th year at Michigan, and he's got the Wolverines playing as well as anybody in the conference.
They're playing with a lot of, excuse me, partner. They're playing with a lot of confidence, and like I said in the open, these are 2 teams that really have a lot to prove in my mind, and I think it's going to be a great matchup tonight.
It's Woodbury and Donnell ready to tip things off. And we are ready to play in Iowa City. Hawkeyes looking for that open shot early. Jared Utoff immediately gets a good look and drains it over Irvin.
I'm so happy to see him do that because I talked about him at the next level and what he really is, and that's a next level move. That's an individual move, great ball fake, and easy finish.
Abdurrahman swatted away. Anthony Clemens got his hand on it, and now Gazelle smartly pulls it back out. Clemens driving on Donnell. Good move, Anthony Clemens.
A tough time for Michigan getting back and identifying shooters and perimeter players. That's just a tough matchup for Donnell.
Anthony Clemens was scoreless for the first time this season in Iowa's last home game against Nebraska, and on the board early in this one. Driving and missing. Abdurrahman offensive board though, Donnell, and he misses. Peter Jock from the baseline. The Hawkeyes can't miss early.
Can't miss early. I mean, this looks a lot like a game I watched Thursday night. They are so aggressive, like I said, as if they have something to prove.
D'ing up the Wolverines man on man. Robinson turned it over. Gazelle going the other way, and he'll pull it back out again, set up the offense. Utah from 3. Nothing but the bottom. You can't start any hotter than the Hawkeyes.
Already where he just puts people in the mixer and drains a jumper. What a tremendous start. Wow.
Not only making shots, but on the defensive end, too, against one of the conference best scoring teams. Robinson, an air ball. It was altered by Utah. They go down low. Utah, first miss of the game, but it was a good look out of bounds, staying with Iowa. He is such a mismatch in so many different levels. He shoots the 3. He's got a good post game. And Fran McCaffrey can't talk more highly about a player than he does about Jared Utoff.
Well, I don't think he gets enough respect nationwide. I mean, we finally started being heard about in the Wooden Watch list, and he should be. He leads this team in scoring. He's been tremendous.
Woodbury with the look from Gazelle.
Heart and soul in Gazelle. And draws defense. A good roll by Woodbury, but that's really all he's got to do on the offensive end.
High percentage shot from within a foot. Michigan just trying to get something going offensively. This defense has been stellar early from Iowa. 7 to shoot. Walton pull up 3. Short rebound by Jock. I know Iowa wanted to get out to a really good start against Michigan. I don't know if they anticipated an 11-0 lead early. Woodbury doing work on Donnell. Offhand. Donnell with the rebound.
That was just kind of a broken possession there. That was the best they could get, but good job by Michigan settling in on that defense.
It's a good matchup here. Uthoff on Robinson, and a foul on Jared Uthoff.
Well, I think that's what Robinson's got to do. He cannot settle for jump shots against Jared Uthoff. Jared Uthoff does such a good job blocking shots. One of the best in the country at blocking shots. So Duncan Robinson's not going to get a lot of easy looks. He's got to be able to put it on the deck and try to get Jared Uthoff in foul trouble.
Uthoff heads to the bench for the first time. Dom Ewell, the sophomore, checks in. He's provided quality minutes for the Hawkeyes this year off the bench.
He's got a new look. He's got the braids today, a little different. Couldn't find him in shoot-around today.
His teammate who was injured earlier this year, knee injury to Dale Jones, the barber there. Duncan Robinson inside to Donnell. He misses. Tip up and in, though.
That's a good job breaking down the zone. You saw Fran McCaffrey go zone there.
Peter jocked off the heel. And now transition. This is where Michigan thrives. For Michigan, such a key to get both Robinson and Zach Irvin going. 4 to shoot. Irvin with the ball. Got the screen. And he can't hit it. Woodbury had it knocked off of his leg. It's going to stay with Iowa.
Well, it's been all Iowa to start 11-2. They got a 9-point lead. Well, it starts when you're making shots, and they've got it raining from all over.
Big Ten victories for Fran McCaffrey's Hawkeyes. That is amazing. Very well done.
There are some schedules that you look at out there, and you might go, I can see why they won 10 straight. Not when you got to play Purdue and Michigan State twice. All right, now Michigan, who's playing really well, it's not an easy stretch.
See Michigan go to the zone for the first time. And the ball bounced out of bounds as Brady Ellingson put it on the deck. And a turnover for Iowa, their first of the ball game.
Yeah, I think we're starting to see a little bit of the depth, the confidence that Fran McCaffrey has in this bunch. And I initially thought this was going to be a team that lacked depth. They seem to be gaining depth as this season progresses.
A charge by Mark Donnell.
And guess who? There he is. This is the man. Mike Gesell, I mean, always in position. Gets his feet down, gets outside of the line. There he is. Takes it on the chest. Heart and soul of this team.
Donnell didn't even know he was there. Yesterday, Benny Parker for Nebraska had a big game against Illinois defensively as Zach Irvin had it go off his hands. And it's going to go to Iowa. Benny Parker, not necessarily known as a scorer. Mike Gesell can go and get his offensively, but what he does defensively and distributing is unparalleled in this conference.
It's distributed, it's defensively, but ultimately it's setting the tone, and you need a tone setter. I think that's something that a lot of teams out there, a lot of high-level teams are missing.
Clemens drawing a crowd and off of his leg. And it's going to go to Michigan. As we've talked about Mike Gesell, his numbers this year, nearly 10 points a game, all career highs for him. And you've seen that trend for him since his freshman year. He's gotten better every season.
He's gotten better every season, and he's the kind of guy where you wouldn't look at him and look at his numbers and even the production and say, well, he could play on any team in the country. Well, I'll tell you, any team in the country would love to have a guy like Mike Gesell.
Just ask Michigan State. He dropped a career high on the Spartans, 26 in the conference opener. Derek Walton's been quiet, as has Irvin in this game. Very dangerous pass. Walton from 3. Gesell was all over him. Another opportunity for Michigan. Now Irvin from the corner. Boy, the Wolverines needed that.
I'll tell you, it was a broken play on the offensive rebound. That's the best shot they've gotten all game. And really credit the Iowa defense for that.
An opportunity to see some of Fran McCaffrey's bench here. Nicholas Baer on the floor. He's been tremendous as a redshirt freshman. Dom Ewell spinning and short on Irvin. Offensive rebound by Woodbury.
And Woodbury kind of advantageous positioning there. Ball just fell into his lap. Good finish with the left hand. I still think Michigan's got to run in here soon. I mean, they're going to find a little groove, start to space the floor, get a couple shots to go.
Travel by Abdurrahman.
Maybe not yet. That's what I'm saying. Maybe not yet, but I'm telling you, Michigan's got to run in here. They get a couple shots like this to go, and as I said, broken play on the offensive rebound. All things are not happening right, but you get an open look. You get a couple shots to fall, you find a little confidence.
Zach Irvin, who had back surgery in the offseason, finally, once the Big Ten schedule started to get in, John Beilein saying that he got his legs underneath him. You could see that shot getting more accurate. Dom Ewell, tough shot. Nicholas Baer trying to grab the rebound out of bounds, going to the Wolverines.
Oh, I think it's a combination. You look at guys like Walton, Zach Irvin, even Duncan Robinson, where you're playing major minutes and you're relied upon more than you were when Karis LeVert was in the lineup. You start to figure out what these guys are really all about.
Well, that's been a trend for the Wolverines the last couple of years, too. LeVert missing the better part of the Big Ten schedule last season with an injury. Been out for 3 games in a row. He's only played 1 conference game. Abdurrahman, what a move on Peter Jock.
That's a great individual move. I mean, not a lot going on offensively. Good defense, but just better offense.
Utah back on the floor for Iowa. Ewell spots up for 3. Big shot.
Wow, that's just pretty execution. That's running the offense. Defense is so concerned, hugged up with Jared Utah. And Dom Ewell just comes off the screen, gets an easy look.
Miss there. Gazelle looking to run for Iowa. Peter Jock, spot up 3. A little bit long, but a good look. Zach Irvin now trading threes. That one off the heel. Up ahead, Nicholas Baer had it lost, and a foul on Walton.
Nicholas Baer getting out ahead. Looks like a puppy. I'm telling you, this young kid, he's going to be so much better in a couple more years, developing that body, developing the athleticism. We've seen him knock down shots. He can certainly do that with the best of them. But he's going to become more and more of an athlete.
Fran McCaffrey, again, can't speak highly enough about Nicholas Baer. He knew that he was going to be a good player. He volunteered to redshirt last year, helped him out, got a little bit bigger in the weight room. Kid can flat shoot.
I'll tell you, he's still got room for improvement. I think mainly with the physicality. He certainly knows how to play this game, and he can shoot the basketball. But as he gets bigger and stronger, it's going to be that much more effective.
Andrew Dockich and Aubrey Dawkins on the floor for Michigan off the bench. Good look inside to Irvin. The defense is swelling, though, for Iowa. And Irvin's going to go to the line. Iowa has an 11-point lead over Michigan. 11:51 to go in the first half. All coming up after our game here in Iowa. Anthony Clemens has got some bragging rights on his high school teammates Denzel Valentine and Bryn Forbes after the Hawkeyes swept Michigan State this year. First time since the 92-93 season.
What a cool story. That's ridiculous. I mean, I remember the Flintstones, obviously. You go back to those days at Michigan State. Flintstones were tremendous. Had a little success. But then to have 2 guys on one team and other on the other, all high school teammates.
All pretty impressive and great careers for all of them. Denzel Valentine might be battling with Jared Utah for the Player of the Year in this conference.
Oh, I mean, Player of the Year, but also in terms of the Wooden Watch. 2 guys that are certainly up there amongst the greats.
Clemens with 7 to shoot. Go inside, Nicholas Baer. He'll knock it down all night long.
You know, really got lucky late in that possession. The ball didn't get inside and change sides of the floor. You got to make the defense work a little bit more, but they got away with one there. Late shot clock situation, got a good look.
Baer did not attempt a shot in the last home game for the Hawkeyes against Nebraska. Played just 16 minutes, already on the board here.
That's going to happen because he's such an effective shooter. Teams are just going to take that away from him. Robinson is yet to get a clear look. Nice drive.
He's going to have to do a little bit more of that to get his points here this afternoon.
Oh, he's got to be able to play outside in. You see Barrett line one up. A lot of confidence in that shot. Said Duncan Robinson plays outside in. He sets up everything he gets because of his ability to shoot the three-point shot. You see a lot of that in college basketball these days.
Good vision by Zach Irvin to Mo Wagner, the freshman. Michigan within 8 points after Iowa started this game up 11-0. Jock lost it, and it's going to go to Michigan.
I always said you feel as if Michigan's going to get there at some point. They're going to make a little bit of run. Good spacing, good attack towards the paint, and for Wagner, a good drop down there.
Well, Wagner not relied upon to score a lot of points. The beginning part of the season, John Beilein said, hey, I've got 4 guys that can play that 5 position. That means I've got 20 fouls to use. So now that he's got Mark Donnell, who gets quality minutes, as does Ricky Doyle, I can use Mo Wagner a little bit off the bench, too.
And you've heard people say, well, we don't want to get into the bonus. Are you kidding me? Everybody's in the bonus. It's impossible not to be in the bonus.
Good vision by Walton to the streaking Aubrey Dawkins on the baseline.
How he almost dumped that thing is ridiculous. Caught that by his waist and still got it up.
8-2 run for the Wolverines, climbing back into it. And a steal. Dawkins going the other way. And Clemens disrupting, and a foul on the way up. Looked like Clemens got a lot of ball.
This is where Michigan's going to get themselves back into this game if they can get their hands in passing lanes and make things happen. But look at the no-look pass. What a finish. Yeah, that's a foul. Got him on the arm.
Dawkins misses the first off the heel. Mike Gazelle's going to check back in for Iowa, spelling Clemens. Dawkins hits the second. 5-point game. Tough assignment for DJ Wilson away from the basket on Utah. Utah now goes baseline. Almost threw it down. And now the Wolverines going the other way. Walton from the free throw line. And just like that, the Wolverines are within 3.
Yeah, look at that 10-2 run. I mean, 11-2 run, excuse me. And they get themselves right back in this game. I still think you got to still feed Jared Utah. Almost made a nice play on the last time down court.
Adam Woodbury was fouled on the inside. Mo Wagner using a little bit more than the arm bar. Ahmad Wagner checking in for the first time for Iowa. Another impressive freshman from the Hawkeyes. Very athletic. Utah baseline, no. Walton getting locked up with Gazelle. Look at the footwork.
That's impressive. That's great defense.
What a move, Mo Wagner.
The move, how about the pass? Aubrey Dawkins.
Utah wide open. Can't hit. Peter Jock fouled on the offensive rebound. The vision from Aubrey Dawkins. My goodness.
Well, they're setting it up well. They're taking away the three-point shot, getting extended a little bit too much. You just see the hug, the embrace. Coach John Beilein and Aubrey Dawkins. Usually that's a post-game ceremony.
Or maybe even going into a timeout. Nope, down the floor. Let's get in here.
I mean, usually in game, you see high five, pat on the backside.
An 11-0 run for Michigan to get within 1. Another backdoor pass, DJ Wilson. Wolverines with a 1-point lead.
And they have just done a great job using their eyes to keep Iowa extended. And the no-look passes to get easy layups and dunks.
You said Michigan had a run in them. This is their run. Utah trying to dribble his way through trouble, now double team. 7 to shoot. The ball in Woodbury's hands. Now Gazelle from 3. Air ball. Here comes Michigan. Good defensive possession there by the Wolverines. Walton spot up 3. Couldn't get it. Ahmad Ragnar. Good passing by Iowa, looking for an open shot. Mismatch down low. Wagner around Abdur-Rahman.
Well, Wagner may have gotten away with steps there, but a good job taking advantage of the mismatch down low.
First bucket for Iowa in over 4 minutes. Trying to get some movement away from the basketball. Abdur-Rahman. 6 to shoot. Walton over Utah. No good. Rebound by Wagner. Up ahead, Utah up and over Walton. And a goaltend. They're going to count the goaltend and get a foul.
And how about the vision? Throwing that thing up. Hey, just lob it up to me. Let me go get it. Jared Udom getting it going. We got a ball game here. Michigan's done a great job fighting back into this one. Iowa's still up 24-21.
Earlier in the broadcast, John Crispin, you said that Michigan had a run in them. Usually it's from the 3. This time it's our Motorist Insurance group right to the hoop doing it for Michigan.
Well, it's set up because of their ability to shoot the 3. They get the defense extended. They give you a little no-look pass there, and it's a wide-open, easy dunk. Great job sharing the basketball and setting up the Iowa defense, getting them overextended.
Jared Uthoff got a couple of points because of a goaltend on a great alley-oop pass from Mike Gazelle from half court, no less.
I don't even know if it was an alley-oop. It was just lob it up in the air, let him get it, come down with it, finish, and now he's got 3 points on the board. I should say 3 more points on the board.
Uthoff has a game-high 8. Great defense again by Gazelle, cutting off Walton. And then over the back, it's going to go to Iowa. There's the pressure from the Hawkeyes.
Oh, look, that's coffin corner. You cannot get, you look at what Walton did, dribbling over, and that's exactly what John Beeline's telling him right now. You cannot get yourself stuck in the spot that's easiest spot on the floor to trap.
When Iowa upset Purdue at Purdue, that's exactly what they did in the second half.
They continue to drive right to that spot, coffin corner.
Uthoff down low, doubled, turnaround, didn't get the roll. Out of bounds off of Uthoff.
And good patience by Uthoff there, but you like to see him go right back up to the rim with that. Kind of faded away a little bit. Here you're going to see more pressure, extended pressure from Iowa, which I really like.
Fran McCaffrey knows that this offense for Iowa has gone cold a little bit, but they could get a little bit more momentum if they get some stops defensively. Robinson with a mismatch on with Woodbury. Abdur-Rahman. And a travel. Again, it's Mike Gazelle.
I'd say if there's one guy on the floor I do not want to play one-on-one king of the court against, it's Mike Gazelle. I mean, he is tremendous in terms of his on-the-ball presence defensively. Doesn't foul either.
Such quick feet.
It's energy and effort, though. That's what defense really is. See Udhoff getting right back after it.
Udhoff missing from point-blank range and an offensive foul on Woodbury as he was trying to grab the offensive rebound. His first personal. You don't see Udhoff miss twice from that close.
No, he just didn't get his head turned. Not sure where he was. Just missed the second one. That's the one he really wants to go. And I like this extended pressure because what it does is it forces Michigan to use 10, 12, maybe 15 seconds before they really get into the half court, into their offense. See, Walton just dribbled over into another tough spot.
And we'll get a foul on Peter Jock. Got his hand in there on Abdur-Rahman. The Wolverines doing a sneaky good job on Jared Uthoff. He got out guns blazing, but he's just 3 of 10.
I think he's missed a couple shots that he's usually going to make, too. I mean, yes, they're doing a good job defensively. You're always going to be aware of where Jared Uthoff is, but I think he's missed some shots that he expects to go.
Officials say that it went off of Ahmad Wagner. Fran McCaffrey can't believe it.
You gotta love the animation from coaches. That's tremendous. Fran McCaffrey, I don't even know what he just did, but it was awesome. And that's definitely off to now. There you go.
Officials got together and a wry smile from McCaffrey now. Mike Gazelle with the scoop.
That's a shot that a lot of young kids are practicing more and more. The right hand going away from the basket, coming back with the inside hand. Hard to block.
Back to a 6-point lead, crowd on their feet. Wide open, Robinson drains it.
That's the first time Robinson's really got himself an easy look.
Another long.
And this is when we talk about Mike Gazelle. I say he's the heart and soul. He's the glue, whatever you want to say. But he's also got some offensive skill. That is such a hard shot to make. But it is something you practice. That's a guy who's played a lot of basketball in his life. Fran McCaffrey loves it.
Heart and soul of this team. Officials trying to maintain some order here and get some space between Woodbury and Irvin. Almost looks like they're doing the hokey pokey. Put your left foot here and your right foot there.
Don't touch each other, guys. It's like parents and the kids in the car. Stop touching each other.
Don't make me get back there. Utah, pull up. Drained it.
That's his game. Not a lot of guys who shoot that one dribble pull up anymore, but Jared Utah does, and that's what's going to make him great here and good at the next level.
Utah in double digits for the 18th consecutive game. Ahmad Wagner picks up the foul on Irvin.
You also have to look at this as he's a screener. Screeners tend to get open, and when you have the offensive ability, you should screen. Young kids, watch Steph Curry. Steph Curry screens more than any big in the game. He screens to get himself open. Jared Uthoff just did that.
Irvin hits the first. Zach Irvin has become such an integral part of this offense for Michigan in the stead of Karis LeVert. Feeling much more confident, not only in his shot, but with his body overall.
Yeah, and I want to be careful how I say this. I don't want to say they're a better team without Karis LeVert. Karis LeVert's one of the best players in this conference, one of the best in the country. It's just that the ball has moved a little bit better. Everyone's gotten involved. There's a little better balance on the team in terms of all the different playmakers without Karis LeVert in the lineup. I think when Karis LeVert comes back, it's going to be a much different team than it was when he was still in the lineup.
Ahmad Wagner working on Dawkins down low, and Dawkins fouled him on the entry pass. First foul on Dawkins. Karis LeVert, who has missed his last 3 games, got his foot stepped on in the conference opener against Illinois.
One of the things we don't realize, a lot of people out there don't realize about Karis LeVert, you know, he can make plays, he can score points, but he creates and shares the ball very well. That's why he's such a tough guy to match up against. Does pass the ball very well.
This Michigan team, one of only 5 teams in the country with 3 players of 50 or more assists and a foul on the rebound attempt. It's going to stay with Iowa. Look at Ricky Doyle, who's locked up with Woodbury. Sixth team foul for Michigan, so shots on the next one. Inside, Utah left alone.
Talk about a miscommunication. Utah once again is the screener. He sets the screens. 2 guys go with the man, and Jared Uthoff's wide open.
And now a steal. Woodbury running the floor by himself. Slam for Woodbury. You love it when the big man runs the floor.
And so does this crowd. The crowd loves it. The big fella going the entire length of the court, throwing it down, and he ends up on his back. Good Lord.
He wanted the foul. It's like an offensive lineman scoring a touchdown. You love it. Irvin around a few, missed. Ewell up ahead. 2-on-2, Clemens to Gazelle. Utah thought about it. Crowd coming back.
Jared, he got a wide open man down low. Woodbury.
Woodbury again from Clemens.
Once again,
Michigan.
It's miscommunication from Michigan on the defensive end. Two guys going with one man leading to a wide open basket. Right now, Iowa is up 9.
Go.
Young kids, we want to talk about this, teach you a little something. If you screen, if you're a screener, you're going to find that you're going to be open a lot of the times. Jared Udolph, he doesn't even set a full screen, but he starts to set up the screen. Two defenders who don't communicate go with the man, and Jared Udolph gets the open look. Screeners always get open. Wish I knew that then. Holy smokes. Just ran around chasing the ball.
Hindsight is a beautiful thing. Good defense. Woodbury getting back on Donnell. Again, good pressure from the Hawkeyes on the defensive end. Seven to shoot. Open look, Donnell. I don't think he called glass, but he got it over Utah.
You know, it's one of those ones where we say it shouldn't count now, but at the end of the game, we forgot about it anyway, so it's still 2 points.
Game good help by Jared Utah, making it a tough shot. And a kick by Duncan Robinson. Stay tuned at the half for the State Farm Halftime Report. Dave Revson, Mike DeCourcy, and Sean Morris break down our first half. We recap the weekend around the conference. Utah wide open. Rebound by Zach Irvin.
That was great screening by Adam Woodbury. Actually really held his screen well. Jared Udolph used it very well, just missed the shot.
Walton trying to go under Utah, and he's called for a foul.
Pretty good move. I mean, not too often you're going to attack a shot blocker like Jared Utah. But Walton Jr. not scared.
Walton's trying to create a little bit of offense. He's got just 2 points. 1 of 5 from the field. As the first one rattles in and out. Nicholas Bear in. And Utah goes back to the bench. Got 2 fouls. Walton hits 1 of 2. Iowa looking for some open looks. Clemens inside, and Abdur-Rahman doing a good job on the defensive end. Everything around the perimeter for Michigan.
Well, it's been around the perimeter, but you also have to credit Iowa for getting back. There's nothing in transition for the Wolverines. Good defense by Iowa.
Good move by Zach Irvin there. Going through the lane. He's got 8. A minute to play here in the first half. Using the screen, Clemens on the baseline. 3 by Nicholas Bear.
That is the baseline drive and drift, something that every team in the country teaches nowadays. You drive baseline, opposite guard drops from the wing to the corner. It's the only place you can get a good look.
Again, the State Farm Halftime Report coming up in a matter of seconds. Robinson working around the screens. Ran out of room. Now Donnell. Robinson may have gotten away with a walk. And now a timeout by Iowa, trying to set up the last shot of the half. It's a 5-point over Michigan, and they have possession with 20 seconds on on the shot clock.
I think we're getting the game that we expected to see. I think the start was so heavily in favor of Iowa. They came out just unstoppable 11-0 run, but Michigan makes a 13-0 run themselves and gets themselves right back in this game. We've got a ball game here.
Both teams shooting nearly 50% on the contest. Seen a little bit of everything. Gazelle driving, kicking, open look. Bear off the heel. Irvin gets the rebound. Up ahead, Robinson at the shot. And they do not count it. Robinson had the clock go off, and our officials were right there.
They was right there, and I think you got it right.
Let's take another look.
We'll take a look at it. We're great officials when we get it in slow-mo, and they got it right. You'll see the light. Triple zeros. Gosh, what a game.
Great first 20 minutes. The second should be just as good here in Iowa City. After the break, it's Dave Revson, Mike DeCourcy, and Sean Morris. They'll bring you the State Farm halftime report from Iowa City, Iowa. It's the Hawkeyes leading the Wolverines 38-33. Game leaders Jared Uthoff, Adam Woodbury with a sneaky 8 points, and Zach Irvin leading the way for the Wolverines with 8 himself.
We're going to see guys like Adam Woodbury shoot well from the field because so many teams are concerned with the outside threat.
See what Michigan does on the offensive side. Their first possession of the second half. Duncan Robinson with a clean look. Can't make the shot. Expect to see John Beilein try and free up Duncan Robinson a little bit more here in this second half. Baseline look. Peter Jock knocks down the three.
Once again, baseline drive and drift. Players just being in the right position, make themselves available to receive the pass, and able to knock it down.
Jock had just 2 points in the first half. Look for him to get himself going in the second 20 minutes of this ball game as well. 10 to shoot for the Wolverines. Swinging around, Duncan Robinson, wide open three.
And he can do that. A great job, good patience, good ball fake. And for Adam Woodbury, you just want to contest to the level of the ball. You don't need to do the flyby. Guys have gotten a lot better, taking that pump fake, sidestepping, and still knocking down a three.
Clemens doubled, Woodbury was open. You know, on offense, if you're one of those point guards and you're doubled, there's somebody wide open.
Oh, and it's going to be Adam Woodbury quite often. You can't leave a guy like Peter Jock. You can't leave Jared Uthoff for sure.
Woodbury with 10. Walton had it blocked by Gazelle. That guy does it all.
I'll tell you, we overuse the whole heart and soul. He's the heart and soul of the team. I mean, we really overuse that. But there's not a guy that epitomizes it any better than Mike Gazelle.
No other team in the country can boast 4 senior starters and a junior with Peter Jock. The experience factor unparalleled. Walton able to hang over Gazelle that time. Michigan going back to their man-to-man defense. Woodbury finding Uthoff all alone.
You've got 2 guys who go and commit to the ball, and then you leave Jared Uthoff, who always seems to find himself in the right position.
Uthoff with a game-high 14. You love the communication on the defense from Iowa, too. It's a Michigan team that moves a lot without the ball. Walton from 3, up and over Gazelle.
And it all starts by getting the ball towards the paint. Doesn't always have to get in the paint, but you get the ball towards the paint, kick out.
Long 2 from Peter Jock with his foot on the line. Michigan hoping that Derek Walton can find a little offense here in the second half, too. His second straight 3 is short. Gets his own long rebound. Abdur Rahman underneath. He got Clemens up in the air. Rockman with sneaky athleticism. Peter Jock with the advantage. Beautiful shot over the undersized Rockman.
How about the 15-foot left shoulder right hook? Pretty backspin. That was textbook.
You don't think of Peter Jock able to score with that much ease inside.
That was nice. I mean, post players should look at that. Everybody who's 6'10 or above should be able to shoot that shot with ease.
Utah locked up on Robinson. Irvin cross-court pass. Rockman wide open. Utah got it knocked away. Utah a little shaken up. A little wide-eyed on the baseline. Woodbury going to work on Donnell. Nice hook. Couldn't get the roll. Going to tip back out to Gazelle. Reset the shot clock. Gazelle off the heel.
Michigan right back in this game. Few made threes, and it's amazing how quickly you get back into a rhythm.
Irvin with a chance at a three-point play as Michigan regains the lead.
Oh, this could be a three-point play the old-fashioned way, but it's been three-point baskets that got him back into this thing. Tough shots are what you need to go to play against this Iowa Hawkeyes defense, and Zach Irvin just gets it. And Duncan Robinson gets the ball to go. Good teaching moment there, too. Pump fake, sidestep, hold the follow-through splash. Don't get a lot of good looks like that.
Robinson is so good at that with that ball fake because he has the ability to drive.
He looks like Macklemore. I'm going to say it.
Good call.
Yeah, he does. He really looks like Macklemore.
Enjoy your pop culture reference, too. Very nice.
Trying to show how relevant current I am.
It's even better. He hits from downtown. Gotta like that. Nicholas Bear from three, short. Utah kept it alive. Utah a little dinged up on the last possession that the Hawkeyes had on offense.
So Utah playing with a box of tissues in his, looks like his right nostril. Took a shot, plugged it up, and he's not going to go out for this game.
It's almost like Rocky cut me, Mick. Didn't have to get cut on that one. Rockman trying to drive. And it turned over, and Donnell fouls Dom Ewell.
How about the closeout? Matt Bear doing a great job closing out on Zach Irvin. This is defense for you. On the skip pass, Bear is closing all the way out. Not only does he close out, take the shot away, he stays with the defender, leads to the turnover. Great defense. Talk about an improvement in his game. That's what redshirting gets you.
Bench with quality minutes for Iowa. And the great thing about the Hawkeyes, there is not a big drop-off in terms of production either. And the starters need a little bit of a break. Dom Ewell driving on Donnell. Got the roll.
That was good defense, just better offense. Gets it up on the rim, gives it a chance, and it goes.
Dom Ewell with 5 points off the bench. All square here in Iowa City. Into his zone go the Hawkeyes. Robinson short, but an offensive rebound by Irvin in his second chance.
Well, you can live with that shot at times, A, because he can knock them down, but B, you always have an opportunity to get an offensive rebound.
Another deep three by Robinson off the rim.
You can live with the first one, but maybe not the second one.
It's a guy that you got to guard him just as soon as he passes the timeline. They'll shoot it from the emblem. And a foul on Robinson, trying to lock up on Utah. First for Duncan Robinson.
One of the things I love about Utah, outside of the fact that he's got a bloody nose, still playing with it. He doesn't fight you and talk about it. He just plays basketball. And it's something that, it's almost a lost art. Yes, the pump fake, one dribble pull-up jumper is almost a lost art. So is not talking trash while you're playing basketball. Love that about that kid.
So understated. He gets all of this notoriety, and probably not as much as he should, the way that he's been playing. But he just says, I'll worry about it once the season's over. Let me just go play hoops. Trey McCaffrey loves it, as do his teammates. Look at Utah over Robinson. Gazelle offensive rebound. Kick out. Clemens three. Back-to-back decent looks for the Hawkeyes. Irvin puts it on the deck, had it stripped away by Clemens. 3-on-1. Gazelle hangs and he's fouled.
Duncan Robinson's kind of giving the wide-eyed emoji face. I didn't do anything. I think he tried to let up. Mike Gazelle actually got up in the air, got stuck trying to pass the ball away, but great defense leads to the turnover, the throw ahead to Mike Gazelle. And as I said, Gazelle kind of got stuck in the air, thought he was going to pass it. Duncan Robinson a little surprised.
Gazelle hits the first. And tonight, it's a new episode of BTN's original The Journey, Big Ten Basketball 2016. Then our hoops experts cover the major topics in college basketball on Big Ten Basketball and beyond. It all starts after our game on BTN. Gazelle hits a pair. 2-point lead for Iowa as Utah goes back to the bench. Attended to by the training staff. Gets unplugged. More pressure from Iowa. Walton setting up the offense. More zone from Iowa. Swing around. Dawkins from three. Big shot, Aubrey Dawkins.
And Michigan is a team it's really hard to zone up against. The guards have to work particularly hard because there's so many shooters around the perimeter.
Everybody on the floor can shoot for Michigan right now. Ewell, huge step, and he gets the bucket.
There's a lot of people out there saying, how's that not a travel? That's just a really big jump step. Interesting to see how long Iowa stays in this zone, and if Michigan can continue to carve it up, get inside, and kick out for open threes.
Smaller lineup, Mo Wagner trying to drive, and a foul on the freshman Amon Wagner. Got a good one here. It's a one-point game. The faces, the emotions. Stick with us.
Times when you watch games and you hear someone say, oh, he's a glue guy just because he took one charge. This is a real glue guy. This is the guy that gets things going for his team, and it's Mike Gazelle. He does it on the offensive end when needed, and he does it on the defensive end all the time. That's what makes this team so good. He finds his teammates. That's why they play so hard. Senior leadership is ultimately what makes this Iowa team go.
Gazelle with 5 assists, no turnovers in tonight's game. Something you grow used to in Hawkeye Nation. DJ Wilson on the floor for the Wolverines. Tough matchup because he stretches the floor. Dawkins over Gazelle. Strong rebound by Bear. Smaller lineup here for the Hawkeyes. Wagner and Ewell in the game. Good man-on-man defense. 6 to shoot. Jock over Dawkins with a 3.
And that's just a big shot. That's getting one to go. You really needed it because it was great defensive possession for Michigan. When you talk about a small lineup, well, it's a small lineup, but still has a lot of length, and they could be successful in this zone.
Looking for a stop here. Keep the crowd into it. Four to shoot. Irvin fadeaway. Couldn't get the roll. Rebound by Wagner.
Really, that's where the small lineup actually works well in the zone.
Go back to their set offense. Do the Hawkeyes. Wagner driving and blocked away. Instead, foul by Mo Wagner.
I really feel like Iowa needed this one to go. Great move. That may end up on YouTube, and the bench loves it. I can't even keep up with bench celebrations anymore. You talk about being current or relevant. I don't even know what they're doing. It just looks cool.
Handshakes, hand signals.
Like, I'm still stuck with 3 goggles. They don't do 3 goggles anymore.
Wagner misses the first. Peter Jock, big shot for him. He had a game-high 23 in the win against Michigan State earlier this week. Again, Iowa sweeping Michigan State in the season series. First time they've done that since the 92-93 season. They are 4-0 in conference. There's them in Indiana in the Big Ten that are still undefeated.
I think the thing with Indiana has obviously looked great playing without James Blackman Jr. I think defensively they've gotten better, particularly with Robert Johnson playing starter minutes. He's the best defender. But they haven't really been tested yet and won't be tested until Iowa plays them.
And when we came into this season, the big question was who was going to be that 4th team within the conference with Maryland and Purdue and Michigan State. These 2 teams were at the forefront of the conversation. They might leapfrog a couple.
Well, I think these 2 teams are the answer to who the 4th and 5th team is, but one of these teams out here may be above all.
Clemens, wide open 3. 8-point lead for the Hawkeyes. Timeout, Michigan. Points off of those turnovers. That has led them to an 8-point lead, and they're on a 9-0 run over the Wolverines.
Well, and that's the type of thing that John Beilein gets frustrated about. And yes, you want to attack the zone, but you also have to get back and recognize shooters. And they retreated back to the paint, which is a good job. But at the same time, you've got to have an awareness of 3-point shooters.
Both of these teams can shoot the 3 at a high percentage. Robinson among the best in the country. Irvin drives, had it blocked by Ewell. Peter Jock comes away with the loose ball. Peter Jock, what ball movement and great shot, Peter Jock.
I mean, that was attack in transition, didn't have anything, pull it all the way out, change sides of the floor. Ping, ping, ping. Bottoms.
3 threes for Jock in the second half. Now a steal, and Dockich fouled him. Good foul by Dockich. Otherwise, Jock was on the move.
And a good foul at the right time by Dockich. Give him credit on that. Not going to be an intentional foul because of the time, but here it is. Attack and transition, have nothing. Move that ball around. Don't let it stick. And you get an open 3. This crowd loves it.
Hold them back. They gave away white T-shirts to everybody that came into the arena on their way in. And they are loving every second of this. Up 11 on the Wolverines. Still a lot of time, and you know Michigan can go on a run. They did it in the first half when they were down 11-0. Clemens from 3 again. Nearly got it to go. Walton with another board. He had a double-double in his last game. Zone working well for Iowa. Doubling Irvin. Donnell underneath.
The home crowd wants the 3-second call. It may have a point. Doesn't get called. They find Donnell at the right time, and he finishes.
Clemens hoping for a little bit of movement away from the ball. There's Jock wide open. A rare miss for him in the second half. How about Dom Ewell? Great work from the sophomore on the boards.
And this smaller group for Iowa has done a great job defensively. getting their hands in passing lanes, getting steals, and also making shots on the other end.
This run for Iowa has been with Utah on the bench, Gazelle on the bench. Now Wagner, body control and all.
Body control. Just good patience, good poise, gets the catch, gets up to the rim, adjusts in the air, finishes.
It's a guy in high school his senior year decided, you know what, I want to try and play football. Walton from three. That's a big shot from the Wolverines to get him back in it.
That is a big shot. I mean, look, this Michigan team needed something to go to keep them in this ball game. Yeah, we said it. In the first half, they had a run. That's what got them back in this game, and Iowa's completely aware of that. You have to continue to keep your foot on the gas if you're the Hawkeyes.
8-point game. Three of the starters for Iowa ready to check in. Ewell from three. Over Irvin. Huge shot by Tom Ewell to answer.
There's not much you can do about that. I mean, you have to respect his ability to drive and the length that he's got. He just rises up and drops that one in your face.
They're on their feet. Walton, tough shot, fouled. He's going to go to the line. McCaffrey doesn't like it. But here come the Hawkeyes.
Peter Jock got it going early against Michigan State, and he's rolling here in the second half.
Basketball on BTN is brought to you in part by State Farm. We exist to assist. The high-flying Hawkeyes have a 68-57 lead on their home floor in Iowa City. And Dom Ewell is today's Motel 6 sixth man, just drained a big three. He's got 10 points off the bench for Iowa.
Well, Dom Ewell was a part of that group, the smaller lineup that really did a great job with Mike Gazelle, Jared Udolph on the bench, even Adam Woodbury out of the game. Good defense. They got things going on the offensive end with some made threes. New look, Dom Ewell today.
Dom Ewell 2 for 2 from distance today. And during Iowa's winning streak, he's 10 for 15. Iowa trying to stretch that winning streak to 7 games. Good production off the bench for Fran McCaffrey. Starters back on the floor for Iowa, Gazelle and Woodbury and Utah. Michigan trying a little high zone here. Three-on-one. Someone's open. It's Utah from three. Can't leave him open.
Well, they did the right thing. Finally, they were just pinging around the perimeter. Mike Gazelle made the cut to the high post area. Once the ball got inside, defense conversion, it left Jared Udolph wide open.
Game high 17 for Utah. Now a steal. Gazelle going the other way into Walton. Can't get it. Was hoping for a foul.
It was great defense by Walton. Really got back, contested the shot without fouling. And Gazelle did a good job getting his body into it. Good no call as well. Love that.
Haven't seen a ton of fouls in this game. 11 for both teams. Open look. Dawkins drains it.
And either team has had success once they're able to get the ball inside. Doesn't mean with a post entry feed as you see the lob.
Walton was hoping for a jump ball. Instead, he's going to get a personal. Walton with his second personal.
We talk about a game or run since trailing 52-51. Iowa went on a 17-5 run. Aided by 4 threes, but it's the first half. They went on an 11-0 run to start the game, but Michigan responded with a 13-0 run. So you've got to think Michigan still has a response left in them.
Time starting to dwindle. Under 5 to play here in the second half. Abdur-Rahman locked in on Gazelle. Trying to initiate the offense. Utah in and out. Woodbury battling. Donnell comes away with a loose ball. Walton pull up three. Can't get it. Michigan needed that one to fall. This is where Fran McCaffrey wants to see his 4-minute offense take place.
I think you're going to run offense, but you still have to be aggressive. You still can't wait until the end of the shot clock to take a shot, especially if you get a good look.
Utah on Robinson. Tough shot in the lane. Good defense by Duncan Robinson.
That's great defense by Duncan Robinson. At least give his team a chance here.
Nicholas Bear able to keep his feet. Now Dawkins, another three. 2 straight threes for Dawkins, and right back at it are the Wolverines.
We said it, the Wolverines have a run left in them. If they get some stops on the defensive end, it's going to really be a ball game down the stretch. Dawkins with 12 off the bench.
And they'll get a foul down low on Duncan Robinson. He can't believe it. Iowa has a 6-point lead. Don't go anywhere. 3:22 to go. Michigan State, a lot of bragging rights there. But right now, the Hawkeyes are trying to withstand a mini run by the Wolverines and their sharpshooters.
Well, it is so hard to put a game away when you're playing against a team that can knock balls down from the perimeter. And Michigan is just that team. They've got 4 or 5 guys that are going to be on the floor that can knock down the 3 ball. That's going to be what gets them back in this game. Certainly going to be what gives them a chance to win it.
Jared Uthoff is going to be at the line. Duncan Robinson has been rather quiet. Just 8 points on 3 of 8 shooting. And he's got 3 fouls. Utah knocks down the first, one of the conference best free throw shooters.
It's a quiet 18 points right there. I mean, it's a really quiet 18 points.
Considering how hot he started. Hitting threes, turnarounds. Just kind of chipping away at his points.
It's like he just whispers into his average. You know, it's just that easy for him.
And doing great work on the defensive end, too. Michigan looking to cut into the deficit. Dawkins has been hot from beyond the arc. Abdur-Rahman. Now Walton for 3. Big time shot from way deep.
I'll tell you, that was great defense. I thought it was a good defensive possession. They scrambled into zone. They contested every shooter, forced the ball back out. But like you said, sometimes better offense beats better defense.
Walton with 16 to lead Michigan. Clemens to Jock in the corner. What an answer! Peter Jock with 14 points here in the second half. And a foul away from the ball. They'll get Peter Jock dueling threes.
We said it. Look, it's hard to put a team away when they can make shots from the perimeter, and that's from deeper than the perimeter. It's from outside, and then Peter Jock, talk about an answer. Keeping his team up.
Jock 4 of 6 from distance. Skip pass by Walton, mishandled by Donnell. Another turnover by Michigan. That's their 13th.
It's hard to make that pass against the zone with the length that Iowa has on the floor. Some of that being Jared Udall. Hands in passing lanes. Hard to make that pass.
It's Gazelle and Abdur-Rahman. Everybody else just kind of hanging around. Now finally some movement. Utah alone.
How about the end game execution? Set play, misdirection, gets Jared Udall wide open.
8th time this year Utah has gone for over 20. Dawkins a little too strong. That's a big miss. 10-point game and 1:20 to play in Iowa City. And nearly a turnover. Wide open. Utah smartly pulled it back. Goes baseline. Up and under.
Wow. Oh, wow. I said something about him being quiet about what he does. Nothing quiet about that move.
Under a minute to play. Walton misses the layup. Abdur-Rahman Now he drives, kicks. Walton from 3, no. And it's going to stay with Michigan as Donnell battled with Woodbury on the boards.
I mean, look, we had some great execution here. You see the misdirection. And Jared Udoff gets wide open. Great execution down the stretch. And then he puts everybody in the mixer, somehow finds a way to get that one to go. Almost looked like a broken play. Wow. Like I said, nothing quiet about that move.
Man, fans feeling awfully confident. Robinson had it blocked, but Udoff is going to be called for a foul. The officials saying that Udoff got a piece of Robinson's head. That's why the foul was called.
I love that. You just saw Jared Udoff real calmly to the officials. Didn't say, didn't yell, didn't scream. And they're going to say he got him on the head. I don't think he touched anything. He simply goes up to the officials and just said, I didn't touch him. He didn't yell. He didn't scream. He didn't grab his chest and go crazy. He just said, I didn't touch him. I love that poise, man. I would have lost my mind. I would have been running for the exits.
I disagree, kind sir.
Very respectful.
Don't forget the journey follows our game here today. Learn all about Anthony Clemens and his 2 high school teammates up in East Lansing. Denzel Valentine and Bryn Forbes. We love Iowa today. A grand total of 4 turnovers the entire game and none in the second half.
That's amazing to me. I mean, it's not as if Michigan's not defending. I mean, they've gotten hands in the passing lanes. They pressure the ball, but Iowa starting with Mike Gazelle, just taking care of the ball so well.
Trapping here by Michigan. Jock up ahead of everybody. Too strong. Rebound by Dawkins. 9-point game. Walton kicks. Wilson from 3. That one doesn't go. Woodbury corrals the rebound and a foul by Dawkins. That's going to do it. With 14.7 left, Iowa with a 9-point lead. Woodbury shooting free throws.
Look, one team wins, the other team loses. Doesn't mean both these teams are spectacular in this league. And Michigan doing all of this without Karis LeVert. We haven't talked enough about that. Karis LeVert, one of the best players in the country on the bench, but Michigan has responded really well to that adversity. I think this is the team. This team you're seeing on the floor, this is the team you're going to see next year for some years to come.
And they're only going to get better. All this experience this season. Duncan Robinson with another year under his feet in the Big Ten. Irvin as a senior. Walton Jr. as a senior. Woodbury makes the first. And on Reese's perfect combination, Jared Udoff and Peter Jock. Jock getting most of his damage in the second half. Udoff with that quiet 23. Great duo. This conference is littered with dynamic duos. Robinson from 3. Can't get it. Rebound by Gazelle fittingly. He's going to wrap up an 11-point win for the Hawkeyes. It is their 11th straight victory in the Big Ten.
And the Hawkeyes continue to impress, not just with the fact that they're winning, but how they're doing it. They play hard for 40 minutes. Credit Fran McCaffrey and this senior-laden team.
Iowa sweeping Michigan this week. You got Michigan State with a win on Tuesday, and now today they take care of the Wolverines. We'll be back in just a moment. More to come from Iowa City as the Hawkeyes beat the Wolverines in a great game.